You are listening to 600 Second Saga. Today's feature is Dead Men's Clothes by Eddie D. Moore. Joel slept on a lumpy mattress stuffed with dead men's clothes. He had become obsessed with near-death experiences in the afterlife after a serious car wreck that challenged everything he thought he believed. The light he saw was radiant and filled his heart with a longing to be bathed deep with it. Hundreds of voices softly called to him with promises of eternal love, and he understood the sincere truthfulness of each one. Each step took him closer to the light, and the feelings of love grew stronger as he drew closer. Suddenly, the light and the intense emotions filling him were ripped away by a single electric shock as the doctors did their job. His therapist dismissed the experience as the brain being deprived of oxygen and attempting to make sense of the situation. The priest he spoke with tried to comfort him with the suggestion that he was given a second chance and the promise that the Almighty would still be waiting for him when his time came. Neither the therapist nor the priest was capable of understanding his loss, and mere words fell far short of explaining it. After years of struggling, he decided to find his own answers. He studied every facet of spiritualism he could find, which often left him deep within the pages of obscure books dealing with the occult. After a few requests for interlibrary loans, he noticed the local librarian began wearing a pouch on her belt he suspected contained mace. He also noted the owner of the local antique bookstore always found an urgent need to be behind the counter whenever Joel entered the store. His unrelenting quest for knowledge left him with the reputation of the town freak, but eventually the pieces fell into place, and the answers he sought became clear. It was true that the soul passes into eternity at the point of death, but he discovered that a person's spiritual essence lingered and held a last desperate grip to life by binding itself to clothing or any item in contact with the body as the soul passed between the planes of existence. That wisp of life soon faded and joined the soul on the eternal planes, but it left a window of opportunity. Shortly after landing a job as a custodian at the local hospital, Joel was able to test his theory. He discovered that when he slept on a hospital gown laden with spiritual essence, he could faintly see that eternal light in his dreams and sense the souls sliding between the realms of existence. When he tried 2 or 3 gowns, the voices became clearer, and he could see the shadowy forms traveling toward the light. Other times he woke in a cold sweat, while shivering in fear beneath the covers and weary of the shadows that seemed to move on the walls. To those who watch and wait, opportunity presents itself indiscriminate of a person's intentions, and Joel was rewarded by his patience. One stormy night, a tour bus passing through town missed a curve and tumbled down a steep, rocky mountainside. The bus carried a team of college football players celebrating their victory over the team rival. They were all drunk and loudly taunting each other about dancers at the strip club when the bus snagged the railing and descended into chaos. Only 3 survived the final smash at the bottom, and the hospital called in all hands to deal with the emergency. Joel worked with eyes shadowed by lack of sleep, but he kept one eye on the pile of bloody clothing set aside for disposal, with a sense of wonder and temptation. He had never considered using spoiled bloody clothes, but to lay hands on so many spirit-laden clothes at one time was a unique opportunity. As he finished cleaning the room, he stuffed the clothing into a bag marked for incineration and quickly rolled them from the room. He tossed a thin sheet of plastic over the mattress to ensure nothing soaked through and replaced the sheets. It did not take long for his weariness to stamp out conscious thought, and for his body to slide into a deep sleep despite the contents of this night's mattress. The light appeared before him with unexpected intensity and a strange darkened tint. Instead of the loving whispers, he heard cries of pain, and he saw spirits fighting in futile attempts to escape the drawing light. He felt himself sliding closer to the light, and he frantically tried to find some purchase beneath him to stop the movement. Terror gripped him as he noticed there was nothing beneath him to stop his slide into oblivion. Pain struck through him like a sudden burst of lightning as light touched him, and he was absorbed by it. His body released one last shuddering breath as his soul left the mortal realm, and the shadows in the room slowed their chaotic dance to move no more. This was Dead Men's Clothes by Eddie D. Moore. Dead Men's Clothes was originally published in Theme of Absence. Eddie D. Moore travels extensively for work, and he spends much of that time listening to audiobooks. The rest of the time is spent dreaming of stories to write, and he spends the weekends writing them. His stories have been published in Juth Webzine, K-Zine, Alien Dimensions, Theme of Absence, Devolution Z, and Fantasia Divinity Magazine. Find more on his blog, eddiedmoore.wordpress.com. Check our show notes for links. Music is provided by Mads. Learn more about 600 Second Saga, our authors, how to submit your flash fiction, and how to support the podcast in the show notes. This has been Mariah Avix in 600 Second Saga.